Okay, so I'm back on the Sony TV-VCR combo. What is this? This is a KV-13VM42. Claims to be made by Sony, but a lot of Daewoo stuff going on inside this unit. Put that out in the hallway. And a customer did approve the estimate, so I need to go ahead and get the TV chassis off of the VCR. So hopefully you can see this because half of my monitor is blocked by the TV. So I'm just going to go ahead and unplug everything here. Route all the wires out of the way, maybe. It will cooperate. Got one ground wire over here. Like I said, I've already got the TV chassis completely removed, or the VCR and the TV chassis. And then we'll just go ahead and pop this open. Hopefully this will just lift off, unless it's got a hidden screw underneath it. It feels like it might. And that does go into plastic, so I have to actually pull the chassis off of the metal cover. Okay, chassis has been removed. Now, maybe I can get this cover to pop off if I have all the screws, and I think I do. Ooh, wait for it. There it is. And I got to get this off of that so I can get to that. And okay, so it's got a couple clips up here in the front. Okay, there's ass screw there and ass screw there. Okay. Caution, sharp edges. Okay, well, it's off. Oh wow, look at that. It is a 4-head VCR. You can tell by the 2 set screws right there and the 2 set screws right there. So now comes the fun part. Trying to hook this up and power it up with the TV chassis like loosely attached to the TV. So wow, they did a good job. They missed that one wire. I'm just going to try to fold all of these out the back, and hopefully there'll be enough room to just lay the TV chassis behind it here, and I've got the rest of the chassis just kind of sitting over here, the rest of the picture tube. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and try to get that all connected, and then that'll let me actually try to put a tape in this and see what the mechanism is actually doing. I do see a mechanical mode select switch right here, a electrical mode select switch underneath, well, right on top of this gear. These 2 plastic tabs are actually holding the mode select switch in with this 3rd tab right there. Hopefully that's the whole problem, because this unit does not use a belt, and I don't see any cracks in the loading gear. which is a common problem on these. Allows the loading motor to slip on the gear, which I've done several videos on. Okay, one moment while I try to get this thing configured. Let's call it configured. Okay, I think we're pretty doggone close here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the power button. I do not have the degaussing. You can just barely see it right there. Don't have degaussing connected because it does not need to be degaussed at this moment. So power on. Please don't blow up. Please don't blow up. And it did power up successfully. It's making all the right sounds. The high voltage came up. And I hear vertical deflection, so that's a good thing. So we shall grab a tape. And why do I not have any power on indication over here? Huh. Oh, it does turn on and off. Oh. I guess the power LED blinks and then it stops. Let's try to put a tape in it and see what it does. Are you kidding me right now? Now it's working. You've got to be kidding me. And it actually is working. Well, I'm going to suspect the mode select switch. Stop. Rewind. It's slipping. Fast forward. I hear it slipping. Play. It is actually playing. And it's still playing. Stop. And it's still playing, even though I hit stop. Stop. There, it actually stopped. Where is the tape get her out of here button? Eject. Okay. Well, let's do the mode select switch first and see if that gets us any farther down this road. Okay, power's off. High voltage has drained away. And we'll try to get this kind of in the center of the screen. And I'm going to zoom in on that mode select gear assembly. Now I think I can just go ahead and take this off. And let's wonder. Yeah, I think it's going to need to have the belt cleaned or replaced. But let's go ahead and tackle the mode select switch first. So power is off. And is it really that simple? And it is. There's the mode select switch. How nice. Is it going to cooperate? And just open up for me. I'm going to say yes. It doesn't look too terribly bad. I do see a little bit of oxidation in there. They did apply a small amount of lubricant to it. And yes, the mode select switch is green and then the rotary portion is blue. So it is not your phone or your monitor playing tricks on you. Okay, let me try to move this a little bit out of the way. And then I'll try to keep focused on this. No guarantees. First thing I want to do is the acetone test. And see if I can use acetone to clean this mode select switch. There it is, acetone. Just pick it up wherever. Scan that if you want for more info, it says. And cotton swabs. I have cotton swabs. These are original Q-tip branded cotton swabs. So to do the acetone test, you know what, let's pump up the exposure just a wee bit if we can while it is running because of the white background. That looks a little bit better, at least in my eye, and I'm going to put this on manual focus so it doesn't hunt. So over here where it doesn't really matter, I'm just going to scrub this. And then if the tip of the cotton swab turns green, which it did, then I cannot use acetone to clean this mode select switch. It will eat the plastic. That is not a good thing. So I'm going to use the dry end and just rub it out just to clean any residual grease out of it here. We'll do that a couple times. You can see the amount of crud it got out of there already. We'll use the stainless toothbrush like we normally do. And we'll add dielectric compound. Oh, you know what? I think the stainless toothbrush is in the dishwasher because I used it to clean off the wife's Scentsy candles. The little glass receptacle that you put the fragrance in. It builds up all this crud on it, and the stainless toothbrush actually cleans it off. Very nice. So one moment while I go grab that out of the dishwasher. Okay, so I have my stainless toothbrush ready. And we're just going to do like we normally do. And just scrub it around here. Everybody has a different opinion on this. I've only been doing this for about 40-ish years now. I do need to get a finer one. Anybody knows where I can easily pick up a finer stainless brush with finer bristles? That would be great. But this one does the job. And some people say you should have like a mirror finish on this. I believe the opposite of that. I believe it should be a roughed up finish, so that as the contacts pass it, it kind of scrubs them a little bit. Well, that's just my opinion. Okay, well, I'm going to say that looks much better already. And I've got some alcohol in other parts of the world, particularly in the Russian area, known as vodka. It's just, I'm not sure if this is isopropyl or denatured, but it does a good job of cleaning stuff. Dry it off with the dry cotton swab. Yeah, it looks much better already. It definitely brought out the shine. Usually it's not necessary on this side, but I still do it anyhow. Just a very gentle wipe in one direction only, not the band. And we'll hit it with a bit more alcohol, one direction only. Dry it off. And dielectric grease. Once again, I'm not worried about little stray hairs getting down in here. I use a generous amount. I want to make sure this thing is completely covered. Prevents oxidation. And then on this side, I just want to go ahead and give it a dab. We'll reattach this together. Snap it together. And then I'm just going to run it around a bunch of times. And I probably should have paid attention to the direction that this thing came apart. That would have been a really good idea. Well, worst case scenario, I'll look back in the video. I don't think it'll be necessary because I see three little nubs on the top of the loading gear. And so I'm guessing it's going to be 1, 2, and 3 possibly in the open area. Let's just do this as a test. I'll pop this apart again. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing my fingernails in between there to snap it apart. And that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and just bring this back over. Move that out of the way. And then we'll put the loading gear right there. And whoops. There we go. It went underneath. So if I just set this down, so it goes in that orientation just fine. Nope. 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 So it only goes together one way. And so this large area right there goes with the large little nub right there. So that's how it has to go together. And I'm apologizing in advance if it's out of focus, because I have it in manual focus. So this goes like that. So that means that's got to be at roughly that angle right there. And then this has to slip up under there like that. And now if everything is good in the world, we can just, there we go. Perfect. Plug that back in just like that. Throw those cotton swabs in the trash. And everything is still connected as far as I know. Power that back on. Let's zoom out just a little bit here. And we'll try to slide this whole thing over. There we go. Okay. Grab a tape. And we'll see if it loads the tape. And it is loading. It did completely load. And it does appear to be playing. I'm checking the discharge brush that keeps the static to a minimum on the rotating assembly. It looks fine. It is playing. It did stop. I don't think it'll rewind. It's trying. It's just, yeah, it's going to need... I don't know if the clutch mechanism is messed up, but we're going to have to pull the mechanism completely off of this thing to find out what might be going on. I hope it doesn't have a broken gear that I have to hot glue back together. Shoot. Okay, let's try something here. I'm going to try to manually load this, which is hard to do. It's got two little tabs. And if I can push them both at the same time, and then I want to shut that off. So the power's off, the mechanism is down. And I'm going to take a couple pieces. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take one piece of electrical tape. I'm going to cover up the prism in the center of this unit. So I'll just cut that off. And then that way it's going to think there's a tape in it, because it's going to block the infrared light source. So it'll think there's a tape in it. So we'll power it back on. It did power up. Just for the heck of it, we'll hit play. It does have adequate take-up torque right now. And we'll hit fast forward. It does have good torque. Oh, it's doing the test. That's why. Oh, no, there's no take-up at all. It's barely moving. So I'm going to go ahead and kill the power in that position right there. So it's in the fast forward mode right now. So we'll disconnect the mode select switch, the full erase head, and then the audio control erase head. Fold that out of the way. We'll disconnect this one connector back here. Be very gentle. It's a ribbon cable. Those are the video heads. Not the video heads themselves, but the leads from the rotary transformer. And is it going to be that easy? Really? There's got to be more screws. There just has to be. Oh, yep, there's one. Okay. Okay, mechanism is completely out of the unit, and it should be in the fast forward mode right now. And yeah, that's a problem. The gear is not engaging. And let's take it out of autofocus for you. So if I turn the capstan, you can see that it's just slipping? Is it just the belt? Could we get that lucky? Maybe? I kind of doubt it. Well, maybe. Oh, it does have high torque. Ooh, might get very lucky. I think it's scraping because it's upside down, possibly. But you can almost back off that. There we go. I can almost spin this flywheel with the belt still attached. So I need to see if I can find another belt that is just slightly smaller than this one. Put the cap back on the dielectric so it doesn't soak up a bunch of animal hair. Hopefully that's all it is. Something just doesn't seem right. But it does have torque now. Yes, in both directions. That's excellent. Okay, one moment while I see what I can do with this. But since we're here and we're this far along, a little bit of regular glass cleaner. Hopefully you can see it. Clean the infrared emitter and then the two infrared receivers over here for the supply and the take-up sensors. I'm not going to go ahead and bother with the real rotations on this one because it uses a dedicated infrared emitter and receiver combo for both of those. And since they are horizontally opposed, I kind of doubt there's going to be much stuff in there. I don't even know if I could get in there to clean them. I could try to just drag that through there. Okay, call that good. Dry end. Okay, let's see if I can find a belt. One moment, please. Okay, I think I found a replacement belt. It's a little bit skinnier. So this one measures about 9 1/4, and it's definitely too big. So this one measures about 8 and I don't know, 8 1/4, just over. It's a little bit smaller. Normally you want to, if you got a belt that's too big, you want to reduce the size by about 10%, which would be just about right. Now I haven't cleaned it yet. The new belt, that is. It is a bit smaller, so it's going to stretch just a little bit more. But it's got a lot of torque. You can see how it spins the flywheel back. So let's go ahead and clean it with some magical solution acetone. We'll get it installed, put it back together, and hopefully that'll be the end of this unit. Alright, paper towel, acetone, you know the routine. I like that. Wasn't too terribly bad. Clean the grooves of the pulleys. Removes any contaminants. And you can see it got some out of there. And always make sure that the belt is riding true, that it doesn't have any twists in it. I'm going to hit it one more time with some acetone. I wish I had the correct belt, but I really think this one will get the job done. It's got quite a bit of torque. It's a piece of wood. I guess I should pump up the exposure a little bit for you guys. Let's put it back in auto. Oh yeah, it brightened it up a little bit. And we'll kick it up half a stop. How's that? Okay, I think we are ready for power up. Oh yeah, it's got lots of torque now. Okay, I'm going to power up down once again and try to remove the electrical tape that I put on the prism. There we go. I think that's what the gear was scraping up against. There's no tape in here right now, so this was actually pressing down on it because it should lift up just a little tiny bit. Kind of hard to see on camera, but we'll get the glass cleaner back out. I normally just spray a little bit on the bench, then I just wet the cotton swab and then I fling off the excess. And since there was electrical tape on this, I just want to wipe it off in all directions. Any dust can diffuse the light and cause issues. Okay, now it should power up and it should know there's no tape and it should try to reject. And it did. Perfect. All right, here we go. Tape going in. And it is playing. So stop. Rewind. Rewind. So it's checking the amount of tape on the supply and the take-up. Oh, it's working perfect. Stop. Fast forward. Okay, I like it. Let's go ahead and rewind it all the way to the beginning. So since it has rear rotation sensors on both the supply and the take-up, when it gets near the beginning of the tape, it should actually begin to slow down because this unit does not have a instantaneous mechanical brake. So it should slow down to a very slow pace and then stop when it senses the clear leader of the tape. So we'll see what's going to happen. Okay, it did what it should do. It's slowing down. Now it's going in very slow speed for the last little bit of the tape. It can calculate based on the real speeds how much tape there's left. There's the leader. And it didn't sense it. Or did it? No, it did not. Huh. Or did it? I don't know. It might have just stopped. No, it's not sensing the end. Okay. All right, mechanism's going to come out once again. And we'll go ahead and clean there's two prisms, light tunnels, on the supply and the take-up side. We'll power it back down. One moment, please, while I pull the mechanism back out. Okay, mechanism is back out, as you can see. And I want to go ahead and just wipe off. I didn't do this previously, and I probably should have. These are little light tunnels, light channels. Sometimes these things are very, very sensitive. So we'll just wipe those guys off. Clean the outside. Dust will actually diffuse the light on these things. I could go ahead and take the screw out right there. But we'll just give this a try first. Could be the video lights are messing. It might have some kind of automatic gain strategy built into these sensors too. Alright, I'm not going to screw it down yet, just in case. Okay, power on. Oh, it found it because it actually sped up to clear the leader. We'll stop it. Rewind. Cover these up. And it knew it stopped. Perfect. Now we'll do it with the lights on. So I'm going to fast forward it just a little bit. It's going to go into high speed now. Stop. Rewind. Perfect. You should take the tape back in a little bit and then stop. That's great. Okay, I'm happy with that. Eject the tape. I'll do a very quick cleaning on this unit. And yes, I will use a cotton swab and some acetone to wipe off the cylinder. I'm not touching the heads yet. I'm not anywhere near the heads. I'm just doing the cylinder itself right now. Skipping over the heads. So I haven't made contact with the video heads yet with the cotton swab. I know you really can't see much. But we'll go ahead and just clean the whole cylinder. In the lower portion, I don't know if you can see that crud built up right there. I want to wipe that off. Anywhere the tape touches, basically, want to wipe off. Look how much came off already. Clean the fully raised head, although I doubt anyone's going to be making any recordings on this. It's just going to be used for playback, most likely. New cotton swab, fresh acetone. We'll hit the angle guides, which I guess you can see them a little bit. I see them. Clean the rollers, and I'm scrubbing up and down on the, I think it's nylon portion, while I'm rotating it with my left hand. This is the back tension arm. Hopefully there's still audio. Yes, there is. I can see it on the screen. Perfect. It's hard to get in here. This is the audio control erase head. Scrub the capstan shaft just a little bit. It's really not dirty at all. And then for the pinch roller. You just want to scrub this thing up and down repeatedly. You can see how much is coming off of the pinch roller right there. Just as long as you're scrubbing and moving it, it's going to clean it up just fine. It was very glazed, and I think this is going to make a big difference. Kind of hard to see, but it's not shiny anymore, so that's a very good sign. And this is how much, that's all pinch roller right there. Okay, I think this thing is ready to go back together at this point. I'm pretty happy with the results. I do want to clean the video heads with a piece of paper. So let me get a piece of paper ready and we will clean the heads themselves with a piece of paper soaked in acetone. One moment, please, once again. Okay, so I have a piece of paper soaked with some acetone. I'm just going to press it up against the cylinder. And I'm not going to do any vertical scrubbing. I'm just going to rotate the head back and forth. You can actually do this dry sometimes too if you got a clogged video head. And as you can see, well, kind of hard to see with the exposure off. Put it back in auto. And you can see all the stuff that came off the heads. Okay, I'm very happy with the results of this unit. I'm going to go ahead and put the shields back on it and put it all back together off camera. I don't think you need to waste time watching me put this thing back together. And then we shall come back when it's all reassembled. Okay, well I have the unit all back together, well, except for the back. So I do have it assembled. I'll put back together back here at least. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the Variac right here. Now, as I power this unit on, I have it in manual focus right now, so it may not be perfectly focused. It should come on, and then I should see a burst of current as it degausses the CRT. Here we go, power on. There it is, it degaussed. You heard the buzz. That demagnetizes the picture tube. And we should get something on the screen. There it is. Let's go ahead and pop a tape into it. Shows that it's loading.
Try tossing some out there on that white ice.
There it is playing. Please set the clock first. Well, I'm not going to set the clock because it doesn't really matter. Anyhow, that is it. Up and running. The Sony, what is it, the KV-13VM42, I believe it was. Not quite sure about that.
Need a big rock.
But it is all back together, all working. Everything is great now. All the leads have been dressed correctly. They're out of each other's way. Particularly the leads that you see down here that are the red, blue, brown, and yellow. Basically need to be isolated. You don't want any leads running near these right here. And you don't want anything near the high voltage transformer, the flyback transformer, because that could cause arcing. Everything is routed as it was intended from the factory. It is working absolutely perfectly. Anyhow, another one saved from the recycle bin. Go ahead and leave me a question, a comment, a concern down below, good or bad. I try to respond to the comments when I have time, and I'm starting to get a little bit caught up. Still months and months behind, unfortunately. This unit came in before the first of the year, and I'm finally getting around to looking at stuff and getting stuff completed. You can follow me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at NorCal715. You can email me, NorCal715videos@gmail.com. Once again, please be extremely patient. Since my daughter and son-in-law's accident, I have not had time to answer more than just a couple of emails at a time. If you try to contact me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, please be aware it might be weeks, months, or even longer before I get a chance to respond. I haven't checked those just because of how busy I've been since, well, the end of last year, basically. Remember, with your help, we can try to keep these things out of the landfill, out of the recycle bin, and out of the e-waste facility. Everyone, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really, really appreciate it. Once again, thank you for all your support, especially those who have donated to my daughter's GoFundMe page to help them out since the accident. I really, really appreciate it. Everyone, have a great day. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.